Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here, and I wanted to jump on a contest. Time for a contest video to support other channels. So this is for Johnny over at Rocky Metal Plus. And he just hit 500 subscribers recently. He's up to like 540 now. So he's having a contest for 500 subscribers. Not that, hey, this is a kind of a neat concept of making me rack my brains a little. And I think I got it right. But basically, he wants to see 5 albums that were things that got you into the music you love. So it could be 5 albums that got you into a certain genre or whatever. The way he approached it was 5 different genres. So that's what I'm going with. Real short and sweet here. Going back, I've told the story numerous times. Going back to my childhood days, my preteen days, I used to listen to just a lot of singles. I had one of those little portable carry around. It was about that big, and you popped the top off and had a record player with the built-in speaker. And I used to carry around singles. I had all kinds of disco-y type things, Grease soundtrack songs, Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever, a lot of things like that. Was the majority. I remember I had that song Pop Music by M, which I still love that song. Lots of singles like that. So it was around 78 that I discovered, and I told the story in a recent video talking about how I got into stuff. But Kiss Love Gun was the first album that I went out and actually bought. Pretty much, I don't know if it was my own money. I guess I had money, but it was a purchase by me for somehow I got money. So yeah, this is what got me into what I would consider mainstream rock and roll, you know, and not just being a singles collector. I don't even know if I had any records aside from like the Disney Halloween soundtrack and stuff. Things like that. I don't think I had any music records until this. So this was, you know, I bought this around 1978. So this is what got me into rock. Hard rock, moving into metal. This one was a little cloudy, but I'm pretty sure this is where it started. But this is Motley Crue is where we got into the LA street scene and all of the hair bands and all that stuff. Pretty sure this was the beginning of it. I remember in the days of going to the record stores, this was really popular. I remember buying the first Rat EP, but that would have been, you know, a little bit later. So I'm pretty sure this came first as far as where we discovered a lot of those LA bands. We saw a lot of it in magazines because we started seeing it in the different magazines of the day. Hit Parader, I don't know if Metal Edge was around back in the early 80s, but all those magazines we used to see these bands. And so they weren't as prominent because they weren't really that big, but we'd see small ads. I remember I bought a Motley Crue t-shirt from the first album from some mail order ad, you know, because it wasn't like mainstream at the point. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is around the time when I first got into that whole style of metal that, you know, took it to the scene of the LA scene and all of those bands that came out of that. And I still remember seeing this in the record store and buying it based strictly on looks, had no idea style. But this would have been where I got into a little edgier stuff, a little thrashier stuff. This was in there and I saw it and I just looked at it and said, well, these guys look like they rock. I don't think I had any clue about their style of music or anything. It just looked like a pretty cool album and fell in love with it. So when this first came out in the stores, you know, by the time it hit the major label, it wouldn't have been that initial release. But so that was, you know, just there in the early 80s, this came out, I bought it and just absolutely fell in love with this album. There was this album and a Raven album that I think I got around the same time. Raven would have been could have brought that up. They probably were my introduction to more of the new wave of British heavy metal type stuff, even though I guess Iron Maiden, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Iron Maiden would have been before that. I'm not even going there now. This is what we got into thrash, and I think the second follow-up to this would have been Exciter. I bought Violence and Force, and that was very influential in moving me into the thrashier side of things, was Metallica and Exciter. Got me a little more into the poppier side of things would have been Kings of the Wild Frontier by Adam and the Ants. I believe I had this album first. We saw the videos on, I don't think they were MTV as much as they were those other late night video programs, but they had Ant Music and Dog Eat Dog, and I remember, I think that was the ones. I know Ant Music was there. But it intrigued me, and I got into this, which took me into all kinds of stuff like Missing Persons and Men at Work and the whole poppier side of the music style. But this is pretty much where it started, and this is where my first love still is when it comes to that poppier punk slash pop type stuff. And then around 85, met some friends in the military, used to hang out with them, and they turned me on to jazz, and this was it. Spyro Gyra's Breakout was where it started. This and Power Play and Warning by Billy Cobham were 3 albums that they loaned me that I absolutely just fell in love with. This is where it started for me with Spyro Gyra, more like I say, more of a contemporary jazz. So, and as I mentioned in one of my prior videos just recently, Spyro Gyra is actually coming here to Virginia Beach in about 2 weeks. So I am looking forward to going to see them. Have not seen them live since we lived in New York in the mid-90s because they're from New York. Used to see them in various places up there. I think I saw them at least 2 or 3 times because that's kind of near where they lived. Coming to Virginia Beach though, and all these years later I finally get the chance to see them. So there you go. Just quick 5 albums that got me into various styles of music. So this may seem like a quick break, but I had failed to also realize I'm supposed to do 5 shout outs. And so I'm adding that in there. So 5 shout outs to other channels. Now this happens quite a bit, and it's always tough to decide. I am subscribed to probably almost 1,000 channels, and of course I watch quite a few of them that pop up regularly, so it's really tough. So I just randomly go about picking 5 channels. In this case, I'm going to say Robert Zee channel, Robert Zee Two right now is, he's the one that's been doing the lottery stuff, so he does videos there, but he's also got a new one he's about to start. He's going to restart his Robert Zee channel apparently to actually talk and show music. So be checking that out. But the Robert Zee Two one, you can check that out. It's got a few subscribers right now because it's mainly just the lottery stuff. Scott Waters is one that I watch regularly. We've been friends for a while, and I get a lot of information about rock and metal from him, a lot of the projects he works on. So, but he's been around forever, and one of the first ones that got me to the VC, so he's still long term. If you're not familiar with him, you probably are though. I'm not even, one of the channels I watch though that's it's music related, but it's not vinyl community related, is Area 312 Rock and Metal. There are some friends that have actually been on the channel. They do podcasts, vlogcasts. They do interviews with bands. They do other discussions about music. So I watch them frequently, and they, hopefully that'll kind of count. It is just a shout out to another channel, but it is, they talk about music and they talk to musicians, but they don't, it's not like a vinyl community channel. So anyway, that's one that I watch quite often. My Music Corner, I watch that. That's a fairly new channel. We have a lot in common there, and so I like watching him. We talk about, he has a lot of the same music tastes as me. I have links to all these below. You can check them out. They've been doing this whole series on Wasp recently, album by album each week. So anyway, yeah, some great stuff over there. And then of course, I think everybody watches Aaron Mute Alamer. I mean, he's got everything, and he's I can relate to almost everything he is into. I mean, he's got this massive collection. He shows some of the best stuff, some of the most awesome stuff. So yeah, so that's one that I watch frequently too, and there's a lot of them. I mean, I could go on and on. There's everybody involved in the whole Aaron world, and you got JC and Chris Profri and all those guys. I watch frequently a lot of these channels. Try to keep up with a lot of them, so don't always get to comment on them all, but do get to watch them a lot, just going through the TV. So there's so many that I watch, but those are just a handful of them. So I'm adding that to the video, and back to your regular scheduled video. Check out Johnny's channel over at Rock and Metal Plus. I will have a link. You can check it out. We can get him over 600. Like I say, he's almost 550, so push him a little farther. And anyway, that'll do it for this one, and I will see you later. Rock on and rock hard.